everybody, and welcome back to Nerd Gobbling Art. I'm Lula. Today we're going to use some UV resin. I use the JDiction, and I thought it'd be fun to use these. Now, I really do love like traditional, old-fashioned, vintage Halloween, especially the artworks. Now, you get these glass cabochons when you buy the bales. So I know a lot of people don't always know what to do with them. So this is a nice, I'd say easy. It can be. You just gotta be patient, because the only technical part really is when you're putting the resin on is making sure you're doing so carefully, putting on, not too much, and looking out for those bubbles. So I'm doing 3 at a time. You don't have to do more than 1 at a time. You do what you're comfortable with. You could do a load at a time if you want. So you can see me there. I'm just using my silicone tool to get rid of a bubble that came out straight away from the bottle. I don't usually have an issue with JDiction in unless it's a brand new open or it's just coming to an end. So I put the glass cabochons on really carefully, and I watch for where the resin is going and check for bubbles. You can always lift it back off and try again. You want the resin, you don't want a ton of resin on, you just want it to spread, nicely. So there's a picture. I obviously trimmed them up. Some of them are just really sweet, some of them are really creepy. But, I like them, just a little bit of time cutting them out. And these are I got a few different sorts. This is the set that came with, the cabochons. I do have other shapes, but for this one, it's better. It's just easier to just do the round ones. So I put it under my lamp. I put it on for the 60 seconds. It's all it really needs. And it looks good in those, doesn't it? I will, of course, link things down below for you, as much as I possibly can. You can get the cabochon sets. Mine even came with a tray, with the jewellery making tray. But you can get them from Temu. You can get them from Amazon. They're not overly expensive. They're great, and I use them for so many different things. You will get a little bit of the resin overspill on the edges, and that's easily sorted. You'll see me do that anyway. So I'm going to do this a few times through, and I do apologise if I now and again go slightly off the camera. I've been getting used to doing. There was just a huge crack of thunder, and we had lightning. It is absolutely bucketing down. It's really dark. Oh, welcome to autumn. I love autumn. The weather is well dodgy this week, though. So I'm going to do it a few times. I do realise quite soon that I'm a little bit down on the in the frame. But you can see it's only the one that's slightly off. And now and again, I do go off slightly because using the scissors and, the craft knife, you need to be careful. Gotta keep safe. When I've done this sort of thing before, the craft knife has been fine. But I think I've used more top quality paper stock. So I quickly realised the craft knife wasn't going to do it, so I do revert to scissors. You just need a good pair of sharp scissors. I'm using, I think it's E6000. I do have 7000 on the way. This stuff, a few people I've seen have said that it's not very good, but I've found it absolutely fine. So I'm just using the scissors, not only to snip away any of the resin that came from under, but a little bit of the paper, just so it doesn't interfere too much with placing it into and the name has escaped me of what they're called. I'm wondering if you can hear the rain. It is absolutely bucketing down. My goodness. I just saw a duck actually. He was outside. He was wearing a raincoat and wellies. That's how bad it got, and I actually had to turn my recording off. That's how loud it actually got. Okay, so where were we? So just cleaning up, obviously. These are just great. They're I don't know if you have seen like traditional vintage like Halloween art before. Look it up. I've actually got a vintage pin on Pinterest, and I just love them. I just think they're great. They're entertaining, and to think that there's postcards. There's people used to give each other like cards. It's cool. It's fun. Nothing wrong with it. So I'm using my lamp, my UV lamp from Resin Rockers. I've used it in a previous video. They're not available in the UK, but you can order them in from Resin Rockers website. The cost for delivery wasn't terrible. They're a little bit pricey, but the amount that I use it it works for me, and I like it. I like being able to control temperatures and stuff. Yeah. These I think they're like antique styles. I don't use them enough because I always gravitate to using silver because I like wearing silver personally. So you can see in my one box that there is a lot of the antique style. So I'm making sure that I'm using them a bit more. And if there's a style or design of these that are the same, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing them in like one in silver and one in the antique, because people like me, they won't pick it up because it's not silver, or they like the antique look, It's not too bad to snip them down at all. It really isn't. You don't necessarily even need to put these, on the backs. These you could turn them into key rings. All you need to do is you can UV resin the backs as well. I'm sure there's loads of ways. You could potentially use, the key, if you've got one of those trays for like making key rings, you could put them in there and create key rings. These can be necklaces, they could be bracelets. I've even got rings in my drawer that you could potentially, be like statement pieces, just if it's interesting. It really is. But they could be one of those statement piece, the costume type jewellery thing. There's loads you can do with these. You don't even necessarily need to have the ready-made glass cabochons. You could put these down and put the full amount of resin on as much as you like and build on it. Easily done. And I do like the owl ones. I've not got a great many of them left, but when I last made them, it's like it makes me think of Care Bears to putting pumpkins in the in the bellies of the owls and stuff. But they look good. Some of them really do look good in the antique. It suits them, because of all the colouring. And some of the ones that are on more the whitey grey backgrounds obviously really suit the silver. There are other shapes. I have got cabochons that fit on the others, like heart shapes and squares, but because these came as circles, it just made sense to do it this way. You know, there are other prints in the book. There's also some really, you know, you don't need to buy the book. You know, I know that a lot of these images, you know, check online, check Google, you know, do your searches. Some of them aren't in copyright anymore because the art is, you know, has reached a certain, you know, age. But just look it up, you know, sometimes you can get that, you can, you know, print them for free and use them as you wish. It doesn't take a great, you don't, like I say, you don't have to buy the book. Look online. I do use lots of dots of this glue. Occasionally as well, if I've felt like it, I have actually put UV resin over the top of it and let it sink down and actually UV resined it into there. But it can be messy. Yeah, I started tidying up, and then I realised I had 2 left over, and that's fine. I didn't want to leave them out because I'd probably either misplace them, lose them, damage them or whatnot, so it just made sense just to get those ones done as well. They were just off to the side and for some reason I hadn't spotted them. Hey, there's a few of them, aren't they cool? I think they look fab. I really do. I like them a lot. Could even do them as brooches actually. I do have brooch ones. So this is the book. I'm just showing you the really cool things. There's like gift tag things and yeah, gift tag things, but you could laminate them. You could obviously put the resin over them, create artworks with them, but you could, again, you could make them into decorations to hang up. Handy, just a bit different, bit of fun. Even get your kids to do it. You know, get them out, get them cutting. Just a bit more snip. And now this bit, it was, I couldn't quite get my scissors in where I'd got a bit of, where the resin had run under, but not quite in the right place. So it's just an emery board, you know, for the nail file type things. I find them really handy for small jobs like this. So just one of each. Every time I put the lid on the glue, I start again, don't I? I do have quite a few left on the sheet. Might potentially make other things with them. Or I might just save them for next year. Don't have to use them all, up to you. So they look really cool. I like those. So the glue, you know, it does, I think, say on there, I might have already said this, I can't remember. It says 24 hours for drying. It is, in general, it is a couple of hours, but there you go. And I wouldn't usually do this until like the following day, but I'm just showing you for the example. These are like black cord necklaces with the adaptable chain length on them. I think these are like 20 centimeters from Amazon. So it just looks nice. You know, you can use silver chains, brass chains, the antique looking chains. You know, they're not massively expensive. Yeah, and I'm fighting with my basket of strings. I just wanted to get some twine to show you that it doesn't necessarily have to be jewellery. You could just use a little bit of twine, simple as that. And you thread it and you can use them as little charms. You know, we have, you know, like a tree we bought from Hobbycraft that's sprayed black. It was white, we sprayed it black. And, you know, we put these little things, the kids have been doing it for years, my own children. And you could have them as little charms to hang up. I think they're lovely. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Love you. Stay weird.